Welcome to the Performer Radio Show. Each week, we interview some of the most interesting people in the fashion and entertainment industries. Fashion and entertainment industries. Beautiful models, singers, comedians, dancers, fashion designers, actors, beauty queens, and many more. Right here on the Performer Radio Show.
Okay, hey, Maegan, we made it. 8 o'clock. It's funny because if anybody that's watching right at this moment saw us before we actually start broadcasting, they're like, what are these people running around like? Well, actually, mostly me, running around like crazy. You guys just kind of sit down and just wait for me to just actually almost explode. It's fun. It's fun for me anyway. I don't know. It was good. How was your week?
It's been a very busy week. We went back to Simmons, so I'm an assistant director of admissions. So back with all these admitted student events, admitting DPT and nursing students, and then of course fashion.
What's DPT out of just go?
DPT is the doctoral physical therapy program. So I accept physical therapists, nurse practitioners, and registered dietitians. So it's a busy week for the admissions world. We had our Mass Fashion Week casting call this weekend.
I was there.
I know, Mike came and visited, which is so awesome. We had over 100 models cast, which was absolutely amazing.
Cool.
And then, of course, just working on leadership conferences. You know me, no sleep, lots of Dunkin', and a lot of biggie bags. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We talked about that last time. The biggie bags. I can't have those anymore, but I did like them when I could have them. Okay, yeah, I got to cut out of a few things in my life, and yeah, that's okay. I'm trying to lose the weight, not because of New Year's resolutions. I started a long time ago. I started back in actually October, which is better for me anyway. Technically, I started 5 years ago, 5 years ago, yeah. But it's been slow, just like a snail's pace. Yeah, if you didn't know me. If you hadn't seen me in 5 years, then you'd notice a difference. Actually, that's funny because when I did the Roku channel, I had to go back and look at all the old footage. And I noticed the difference myself. I was like, well, look at myself here compared to there. And you can see a noticeable difference, but it's been very gradual. And they say that's the best way to do it because if you do it too fast, it probably comes back too fast. But if you change your lifestyle, we need to get some fitness people here. But if you change your lifestyle, that's the way to do it. So I had to change my lifestyle slowly but surely. But it's tough when you're working on a food show like Wicked Bites or this week on Martha's Vineyard, and you're around food constantly. And you don't want to insult people when they bring a dish to you because they feel like you're a guest in their home. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, I learned how to sample and not overindulge. That was the trick right there. Actually, Scott Whitley taught me that. Over the course of the years that we were working on Wicked Bites, because he too got paid. Once in a while he was a victim to the fact that it just tastes so damn good. Okay, I don't wish that problem on anyone. Everyone thinks it's great. Oh, you got to do it, but don't forget one thing: the camera eats first. So everything that we got to eat after the fact, unless it was heated up again, or if they brought out a new dish, was cold. But we still we learned how to appreciate food that was cold and know what it would taste like if it was warm. Mm-hmm. That's a tough one. Okay, I'm digressing. Speaking of food, Brian's been sitting in the Keys, the Florida Keys, this past week, enjoying himself. He had a couple pictures. I didn't have enough time to get some pictures, but that he posted. But he was with a bunch of rock lobsters and doing his thing down there. So he's having a good time. He's going to come back with Kayla and another Fun with Food episode before the end of the month. Now tonight, we've got a special situation here because technically I'm going to be handing the baton off from myself to this gentleman right here. We're going to put him up real quickly. There's Mike. Mike, you want to move to your left just a tiny bit so we get you in the full frame? Hold on, you're not fully on camera. Okay. To the left. To the left. There you go. Mike's going to be kind of taking over. I don't think I have a three with all of us. Let's see. I might. Hold on. I don't want to do that right just yet. We'll do it after the break. But Mike's going to be kind of taking over this spot so I can just play on the board here and do other things. People don't realize, and if they saw I don't have a wide shot, but if they saw what I have to deal with every episode, and this is like mission control for me. I've got 4 monitors here. I've got all this gear here, the board. Plus, I have to pay attention to the conversation, too, and it's a lot. it's not that I don't enjoy talking to people, I do, but you have to kind of like really know how to multitask in this situation. So Mike will be taking over. He'll be taking over right after the break. So it'll be the two of you and our guest tonight. Anything else to add about Mass Fashion Week while we're at it?
While we're at it, it is going to be definitely something that I'm just looking forward to. I have a lot of new models I've not worked with yet, and a lot of them coming from northern Boston area and northern Massachusetts, which makes me very excited because I've worked with a lot of Providence models and a lot of models in southeastern Mass, so I'm just super excited. We're starting to get practices already going next week, and we're getting our headshots done in February, so super excited just to keep on going. We're trying to plan a model retreat to focus on their mental health and just talk about some of the stigmas in modeling and just really help them blossom and grow in every direction. So I'm very excited. I get very excited to teach new students. I'm going to be teaching, my next group of students next week at Dean College. So I'm going to have like a bunch of new students. It's going to be very hard for me to remember everybody's names, but I'm going to do my best. For sure.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it amazes me how you are able to juggle all that. I mean, I know what it's like to have many things going on, but that's all in like one spot. But you are running around from place to place to place.
Oh yeah.
So that makes it even more difficult.
Good thing I like driving.
One thing I want to ask you to do is kind of pull that microphone a little bit closer to you so we can. There you go.
There we go.
And then maybe move over to your right just a tiny bit.
See,
there you
Mike
go.
has to go to the left. I go to the right.
You know what it is? I didn't do the play out for you guys so you could actually see what's going on the screen.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's my fault because, like I said, we are. There you go. You should be able to see it now.
Hey,
there you go. That's what I'm saying. You're running around doing all these things at the last second.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so speaking of that, I'm going to catch my breath while we go to a commercial, and then we'll be right back with you and Mike, and we'll introduce our guests for this evening, okay? All right, so we'll be right back.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers, he connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. Victory. Fumble. Repeat. It always came back.
Okay, here we go, throw it!
Yeah. You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Nice.
models, singers, comedians, dancers, and so much more. This is the Performer Radio Show. Performer Radio Show.
Okay, we're back, and we have our guest and Michael. I did it.
That was awesome.
I had all the Christmas screens still on, so I had to change them.
Okay.
Well, I even had the decorations up until 1 minute before air. I was ripping them down, so that shows you how long. That shows you the kind of craziness I have to deal with. So, Michael, welcome officially.
Thanks.
And DJ DCaso,
Yes,
welcome
sir.
to Performer Radio. How you doing tonight?
I woke up this morning.
We got to
great.
talk about the Yankees hat for a second.
He said real quick.
Yeah, real quick. No, it's okay. I've noticed that a lot of people just wear it for style now.
I'm not one of those.
You're not one of those.
No.
He's a true New York fan.
In every single
we
way
don't care
possible.
anymore because we've won our championship, so we don't care anymore.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah,
that's cute. We're still the best baseball team, but we won't do that
okay.
today.
New York pride.
Yeah.
I'm going to be down for New York Fashion Week in a couple of weeks, so I'm looking forward to that. Always fun going down to New York and experiencing the energy down there.
Yeah.
Definitely. So yeah, New York is still one of my favorite places besides the Yankees and the Knicks and stuff like that. That's okay. I'm definitely a true Boston sports fan. As a matter of fact, people are like, why are you still watching the Patriots every Sunday, Michael? I was like, because I'm not a fair weather fan. Now, obviously, DJ DCaso is not a fair weather fan easy because he's sitting here sporting his team colors and his logos and everything else like that. So that's good. I applaud that.
Thank you.
I think things have gotten better between New York and Boston anyway lately.
I think it's always been a Boston thing. I think it's been very one-sided.
No. I've been to Yankee Stadium when the Red Sox played there. I know. Yeah. That was a while back, but that's okay. But now, welcome. I mean, you live in Boston now, right?
On and off, yeah.
On and off. Okay, all right, that's fine. But Boston is sort of like. So it's a mini New York. It's not really New York. We know that.
It's nowhere close to New York, but it's definitely.
It's a vibrant city, but
it is.
New York is.
It is.
I mean, New York is not for the faint of heart.
At all.
Not at all. You could sort of like. That's why the Broadway shows come to Boston first. Like, okay, you try it out here, and then you go to the big leagues, and I get that. It's totally awesome.
The reporters in New York are a little bit more harsh.
Oh, they're brutal.
Yes, so I think
don't hold back. They really are brutal.
Yeah.
They will rip you apart in a second if they think that's necessary.
Yeah.
That's why when you can, like Frank Sinatra says, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. Okay, and that's still true to this day. It's tough. That goes for acting, Broadway, theater. It goes for fashion, especially fashion.
Fashion.
That's really tough to make it down there in fashion.
New York and LA, the two places. If you can make
LA
it, you can
for
make it
acting,
anywhere.
definitely, and not as much for fashion.
Yeah.
For fashion, if you really besides New York, then you have to Milan and Paris. Those are the places right there. Those are the three most important cities in the world for fashion. And people like Milan. I go, yeah, Milan, absolutely Milan. The Italian designers, they've got houses there. They got houses there all over Milan, that area. Okay, back to what we're here for. I'm going to hand you off to Mike. Mike, you got the floor. Let's see if I can make sure I got a 3 with you guys. Nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. That's the 3 of you guys. So you take the floor, Mike. It's all yours. Do your thing, Michael.
All right, let's see how it goes. Well, we'll start with the New York hat. I know where this is going to come from, so we're going to start right off rip. DJ DCaso comes from New York, born and raised over there, brought his talents over to Boston, and started DJing while he was in college here, his junior year, and very quickly became a shining star in it. He started opening up that same year that he started DJing, started opening up for talent like Nas, Bravehearts, all of these amazing artists that had been making it in the industry. And when they came through the school, DCaso was the one to warm up the crowd and get them going.
That's cool. You know what? I got a little quick video clip. Maybe we should play that to get the vibe and the energy going on.
Let's do it.
Let's play that first. Okay, here we go, right here. Ooh, cool.
Nice.
I actually had to re-edit that with the audio because we're not allowed to play any audio that isn't copywritten.
I got you.
Yeah, that is copywritten. Excuse me. We are not playing any copyrighted material, so we have to re-edit all the audio and things like that to make sure that there's nothing on there that's going to flag the Facebook AI. I don't know what you call them, Nazis. We're going to call them AI Nazis. That's what we're going to call them.
I can't lie to you. I actually liked that audio more than the original audio.
Oh, really? I didn't hear the original one. So
that's
well,
messed
thank
up.
you. I appreciate
made the
that.
original.
I'm
but that's
sorry.
Sorry. Well, yeah, but we
You
can't.
just got roasted.
Yeah, we can't use
That's
any of
crazy.
that audio.
it's
That
so
is
much
loud.
No,
It's
okay.
only Wednesday.
No. You're DJ, not a producer.
You're right.
So
Good talk.
That's
It's like I gotta go now.
Sorry.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's okay. So,
No,
Mike, you got
I
the
like
floor.
it.
Go ahead.
Awesome. No, so going further back to that video, as he started to open things up and get into the DJ world, he just took it by storm. Started to build a lot of traction very quickly, and then just before the pandemic, going and a little bit after, if I'm not mistaken, he continued on with this idea of the abroad DJ, what it was to be a traveling DJ, working with artists, working as a traveling DJ for artists, for venues, for entrepreneurship, and the whole thing. And that's really what the abroad DJ was all about, and we're going to talk all about the motivations behind that and what it is. So without further ado, please, DJ DCaso.
What's going on, big bro? How you doing?
Man, I'm great, man. I'm great.
Oh, I'm loving his voice, though. Check that out. Oh, that's a cool voice right there.
He's got it.
I don't know what you're talking about, but we'll make it work.
Daryl,
talk to me.
As an entrepreneur,
yes,
talk
sir.
about the importance of consistent branding and marketing.
So to start, when I first came to Massachusetts, I was going by the name Esquire. Because I wanted to be a lawyer, and I just thought it'd be kind of cool. I thought about the Knights of the Round Tables and how the round tables would be turntables, and I was just thinking about that you can't do anything by yourself. And I realized as a transplant, I needed people that were familiar with the market in order for me to thrive. So I was very quick to find people to teach, people that wanted to learn how to DJ. Got that going, and then once I realized in order for me to market and for me to grow, I had to make sure that my name was my name. And I found out that it wasn't. I found out that there was an OG from Brooklyn that actually had that name before me, and he had Kia commercials, and he was a big thing. And I jumped into a chat, and he roasted me. So immediately, I was like, back to the drawing board. So I draw, I spray paint. So I was like, how do I transpose all of me into it? And that's where I changed my name to DCaso. So it was Picasso, took away the P, put a D, and then I took a bunch of letters out to make sure I felt respectable. So yeah, DCaso, and I made sure it was branded everywhere. It's 100% me on all platforms. So nobody has my name, and I can market myself in every country. So
That is unbelievable.
Yeah. So that was the start to it, I guess, in some essence.
Yeah, 1,000%. And as you talked about that, you touched on a lot of different pieces. I had started out DJing a few years in 2012, and then I think we linked up in 2015.
Yeah.
It wasn't until 2017 that I became part of the Knights of the Round Tables.
Yeah.
And that is a DJ collaborative just to forward this movement in Boston about getting DJs working together and keeping that tight-knit community and learning from one another and growing in that respect. And I love the culture that you created in that group is something that is very hard to find. The idea of not just business values but family values. That was it's so important and so hard to find nowadays.
But that's I guess what made it more important for me, because I didn't have the traditional nuclear family. So me being able to choose my family, I'm bigger on blood doesn't make you family. Who you choose makes you family, and the trials and tribulations that you all go through together. So because of that, I wanted to choose my family, and I wanted to make sure that if I was going to make money, I was going to make it with people that I love and people that I know would push me and I could push them. And it's also I need to build community. I was in Massachusetts by myself, no family, no anybody, so I think it worked out. It worked out great, because everybody that I came into connection with that was close enough, we've all allowed each other to grow and win. And I think all of us are pretty comfortable off of those original ideas that a New Yorker came with.
Wow. Okay. I like the stop right there.
Yep.
That was a
Dramatic
good one.
pause. It was a good pause.
Yeah, thank you.
It was. That was also a great period. That's how you
Period.
end it
Period.
right there.
Mic drop.
Mic-
Done.
Without dropping mics, these are expensive.
Yeah,
And the way my pockets are set up right now.
I saw a meme, Mike, it just reminds me, I saw a meme the other day. Anyone that's dropped a mic has never owned one.
Oh, so true.
Very true.
Absolutely.
Very true.
Until you drop that mic, you own it. You own it after you drop it.
Yeah, pretty much.
1,000%. So, would you say that is where a lot of your motivations came from in continuing to DJ and continuing to grow, was just making sure the people around you were also all set and growing with you?
Steel sharpens steel. So my goal was, if everybody could be better than me, then I have someone to consistently beat, and they love me, so they're not gonna like run away or get butt hurt. So I'm like, if I could learn a new technique and then I could teach it to you and you master it in your timing, you could come back and teach me something that I didn't have the time to work on. So my goal was, if all of us could be so well versed in our different styles and create our different techniques, we could come back, change it. I was gonna learn it and then beat all of y'all. And then, like, it was always competition. My brain is always competition, but it's always in a loving way. And it's just, I was raised with tough love. Like, you don't get anything easy. You have to work for it, and you have to, So that's all.
So, talking in that respect, you grew very quickly. Just from all the research I've done, from the conversations we've had off air over the years, it's amazing to see how quickly you grew in the amount of time you did. It was almost like you got here. It was a personality that people were not used to, and that caused not just a ripple but a tidal wave effect, and it just brought you to these new platforms in a very quick manner. With the quick growth that you had to do, is there things that now you wish you knew then to better the position you're in now?
Nope. No. I love all the trials and tribulations. I told you, I'm from the school of the hard knocks, right? You grow up in the concrete jungle. Brooklyn is very tough. It's just one of those things. I like bruising my elbows, because I feel like once you get up from that, you'll never get that exact same bruise. You're never going to fall down the exact same way. I think creating the relationships that I did and the ones that became exchange, I'm happy for those. Right, because I was able to learn a lesson about people. I started learning about what the culture is in Massachusetts. And I've always been a figure that you need to go to a smaller market, because you're going to be a big fish in a smaller pond. So the things that people stress about over here, I think are easy, right? And I don't say easy to be disrespectful of anybody's struggle, but it's just not the same, right? So giving all due respect to everybody's struggling, upbringing, whatever they had to do to get to where they need to be, but I loved all of it. I loved every single moment of it. Every time I got dropped, every time I got back up, I love it. Like, it made this fun.
That is so true. It's kind of like when you were getting beat up in the schoolyard, going back to the yard the next day, being stronger. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or I did my time in the gym. You are not going to get me again.
But you gain pride. You gain something from it. It's not always physical. It's the mental aspects that you gain from it. So I've always been a figure of that happening, and I love it.
So when we first started this interview, Mike played a clip of the Abroad DJ.
Yep.
I loved the concept of this. I wish that was something that you kept going, because and this is a great platform to get more people's eyes on it, because there are so many gems in there for people who are starting out in the industry, who want to learn more about the industry from the entertainment and DJ and artist point of view. It's not just about the DJ and the music. It's about what to pack, how to present yourself to these people, how to present yourself to the artists, how artists present themselves to the DJs, and what the appeals are to working together and making those collaborations. also keeping
being a
relationships.
former DJ myself, Michael, what to pack has changed quite a bit since
Yes.
when I used to do it from what's going on now. So packing is a little easier than it used to be, but thank God for that. Technology has helped save the backs of many DJs over the
Yes.
past 10 years
Yes.
or so. So that's good. But go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry. to
No,
interrupt
no,
you,
no.
But I had to make that comment because it's so much easier now than it was
is.
40
It
years
is.
ago when I first started back in the game. But go ahead.
Right. Well, you're not bringing on the crates and crates.
Yep,
of,
yep, yep,
I'm
yep,
still
you know.
lugging equipment, but now it's just video equipment and audio equipment for other things as well. But
Yeah.
I don't miss those days of crates of records. And even when the CDs came, there was still pretty heavy
Still a
crates.
lot.
Still annoying.
Yeah, but then MP3s and Serato and all that stuff is like, damn, I missed it by 20 years.
So, as far as going back to things that you pack, and what I heard you in an interview with one of the Jammin' 94.5 DJs, DJ Foreign.
Yep.
You asked him what his go-to packs were.
Yep.
For the carry-on. I need to ask you, what are your go-to packs for the carry-on?
I've learned, and this is only because I've been traveling and DJing overseas. I've lost my bags. They've lost my bags several times. And I would always be very mindful of what I put in my book bag because I carry 2 laptops just to make sure if one dies, I'm always prepared. I have 2 hard drives. Like I bring a backup of everything for on-stage purposes, but I started now putting underwear, socks, and like 1 outfit in my DJ bag at all times. So at least I have a stage-ready outfit until I'm able to get to a mall and figure it out. But that's really it. And then I'm very big on I need to have my like toiletries. So I have a toothbrush, I have mints, I have deodorant, I have some kind of body spray, mouthwash. Like I'm very anal and wipes. So yeah.
Do you have to pack for more than? Well, I'm saying that's like maybe a 1 gig, 2 gigs, or something like that.
Yeah.
But are most of your gigs like 1 or 2 nights or 2 whatever? What's the average stay?
So a lot of my overseas gigs are like jumping between. So like I'll be in Switzerland one day, Germany the next day, Italy the next day. So it's constantly just bouncing around. And then it's usually travel days. So once I get there, there's a lot of like, we'll find a driver. And then once we have a driver, we'll just cross the borders that way. Just because flying's annoying. So once we get into
right.
Europe, yeah. But I'm also 6'3", like.
Oh yeah,
it's not comfortable. And when someone else is
don't
booking your flight,
they don't like tall people and they don't like fat people.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
when someone
definitely.
books your flight, they're booking it to get it for the cheapest. So I'm always in the middle seat. So like I'm just
God.
always uncomfortable.
I feel
so,
bad for you.
Yeah, but you know, it works to have a manager every once in a while. It makes life a little easier for you.
For sure.
So
For sure. Now, I was looking at the screens earlier, and I saw DJ DCaso entrepreneur.
Yes.
Why entrepreneur? Why that title?
Because I've learned almost every aspect of this, and I've made sure to be a child of understanding. So I know in college I took theater because I wanted to learn lighting. I knew with my skin tone I had to know how to light myself, and because of that I wanted to know how to light rooms and arenas, how to make you pop out from their backgrounds. I wanted to learn audio engineering, just because again I don't want someone to know how to do something that I don't know how to do. That's how you get, again, coming from New York, that's how someone tricks you, right? So I'm very big on I need to know how to do everything. I don't need to know how to do it very well, but I need to know how to do it. So editing, visuals, camera usage, I need to know it, so that way I'm always privy to anything that anyone's doing and no one could get the one over on me.
That is so important. Sorry to interrupt, Mike.
Yeah.
Go.
That is so. I tell people too, if you're going into broadcasting or the fashion world, learn everything there is to know about the other people that are involved in the business.
Yeah.
Okay. Not that you want to take over their job or anything else like that, but having knowledge is the greatest thing you can have. That's your best weapon to stay in the industry and be successful.
Agreed.
Like DJ DCaso just said, DCaso. Yeah, DCaso,
Yeah.
right? Okay, sorry, I was thinking of something else. But yeah, the more you, and then don't be shy to meet these people too that do these jobs, because they will give you even more knowledge that can benefit you down the line. And at some point, you may have to do that job yourself. Somebody might not show up, or somebody gets sick, or something like that, and you might have to okay, I can do that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your saving grace in many situations sometimes. So yeah, that's very good advice.
But
very
it
good.
also creates your longevity because, again, positions change over so quickly, and if you're able to step into a role when someone steps down or doesn't step up, it also shows that you're capable and you're deserving of whatever extra cash you may ask for. So I've been lucky to be in those situations, to have learned and been around people where I shut up. I know a lot. I've done a lot. I just still just sit there quietly and just smile like I don't know what's going on. Because there's always some kind of gem that someone's going to give you that you may not have known.
You kind of play possum, huh?
At all times.
Uh-huh.
No one knows anything that I do, and I like it. I just, I do the occasional interviews because of certain people, but I don't like people knowing that I know a lot, or I know who I know.
I think it's important for them to especially at this point, because you're a world traveler. You have traveled the world with this. You have interviewed and spoken with and ate around the tables with so many of these influential people, not just to what the game is today, but to what the game is today because of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you sat down, one of the interviews that I've watched 1,000 times, no exaggeration, because of how much I've learned from it, is the interview you had with Ron G.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just an incredible interview that you had with. And what is your connection with Ron G that you were able to sit down with him during that Abroad DJ session?
I don't remember. You want to know the funny thing is that I've been lucky to be in a lot of rooms. From my initial introduction to Massachusetts and then getting on radio, I've been allowed in a lot of spaces, just again because I don't come off as braggadocious. I'm very calm, cool even, and then I just sit and people tend to like me. And that's not a brag or anything. I smile, I laugh, I crack a joke every once in a while, and then I do the real thing where it's like, I don't care what you did in your profession. Like, if we make a real connection, let's get phones, let's change phone numbers, let's change emails, and then we just keep in touch. So that's my big bro. And then it just happens that we started doing a lot of things together, and then it was just great from there. So I have some phone numbers in my pocket that are amazing. That's all.
One of the things that you just mentioned was keeping in touch and keeping in contact.
But being genuine, though. Right? A lot of people talk to people because they have something in mind. I don't come to you with something in mind. If I think you have something, if you have something that I want to learn from, I look at it as a long game. I don't look to run up to you in an immediate moment and be like, tell me about your life. How do I get rich? No one's going to talk to you. Right? But now if I actually let's talk about your family. Let's talk about little things like that. Now we're building genuine bonds, and with genuine bonds, everything is possible. Like,
when I was entering this business a long, long time ago, I learned that the talent doesn't really want to talk to you that much.
At all.
At all. You want to talk to the managers, the producers,
Always.
the directors.
Always.
Those are the ones that are really in control.
Yeah.
Okay, those are the ones you're going to learn from the most. Talent people, there's nothing wrong with them, but they're going to be like a little standoffish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm here right now. I'm staying in this position. I don't want anyone challenging me, so I'm not going to give you very much. But producers, directors, those types of people, agents, they're always looking for new talent.
Always.
Or trying to develop talent.
Always.
Okay, and those are the people you need to talk to. So everyone that's coming up in this business, always realize the person in the room that's probably standing in the corner just observing, that's the one you really want to talk to. All the people crowding around the talent, let them be there. That doesn't really matter that much. The people that are behind the scenes, they'll be in the room, but they won't be noticeable. You have to pay attention.
Very much so.
Very much so. Just real quickly, we're going to talk about the types of gigs you do too.
Yeah.
Okay, so Michael, if you want to talk about that, that'd be great too.
1,000%.
There you go.
And before we do, I want to just real quick, where can everybody find the Abroad DJ? Because there's so much good information in there. I want to let people know, where can they find the Abroad DJ?
So it is available everywhere on all social media platforms, so Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. But if you go to my website, www.djdecaso.com, you'll be able to find everything there. So the link is there, the Abroad DJ.
There it is.
So yeah.
Awesome.
We can take a look at that in depth, I guess, a little bit.
Yes, sir.
A little bit after. So looking at that video, and you were talking about all the jack of all trades that you have to, that's why you have the entrepreneur piece over your name. you edited all of those videos.
Yes,
and
sir.
you created a lot of those videos with.
I created all of them.
All of those videos, right?
So I told you I'm very big on finding people that I love and bring them along with me. So I met a young lady at LaSalle College. She was one of the nicest people that I met a long time ago. And she told me that she wanted to be in the industry, and I never forgot that. So as I started growing and I started working with the station and working with different artists, I was sure to pull her along every way I could. Her job stopped her from a lot of opportunities, but I made sure that she knew all the right people and that she made the relationships so I wasn't needed anymore. And now my little sister is doing pretty well. Like, she's able to quit her job and she's running her own studio right now.
Nice.
So the couple of videos that she did take, there's a couple of like in the studio at the station. There's a couple doing big performances in the city. So she did help me out with that. And then I just took all those and cut it up myself. So like I said, it's always about finding those people you actually make a connection with and taking care of them. I'm big on taking care of the people I love.
Now, let's get into talking about those performances, because you were talking about some big performances you've had in the city. You've been talking about the station a lot.
Yep.
Let's get into it. When you came to Boston, you started over at the college, doing opening DJ sets for the different acts that were coming in. You entered into a contest that got you on Jammin', or
no?
What got you on? So after college, you started in with Jammin', right?
Nope. So
what happened?
After college, I was lucky enough. There was a restaurant down the street. Just a nice little restaurant. I was able to start a Caribbean night on a Wednesday, so they were bringing in about $2,000 of profit. I was able to turn a Wednesday to make $10,000 in profit. The space could only hold about 75 people. We had a line for 200 people, just because I was doing something that was a little bit different. And because of that, I was able to become a manager at the restaurant. And then from becoming a manager, they gave me like a little piece of the restaurant. So I had ownership of the restaurant. After I realized I was too young and I didn't know what I was doing, I stepped away from that. I met a dude from from Harlem, Walt. Walt was DJ Pup Dog's right-hand man. Brooklyn and Harlem, we have our thing, so we started talking crap. That talking crap relationship turned into like, that's my big brother. I started helping him out at gigs. Pup saw my dedication, how quickly I would get in, set things up, break things down. I was very like professional. I wasn't bothering the man while he was working. Like, I was on top of it. Get your job done. Go in the corner. Don't be a bother. Get the job done. Let's all go home. Just be happy. And that just turned into me finally getting on the station a couple years later.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
In what, 2013?
Oh, wow.
For Thanksgiving mix.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Very cool.
Did you start in college radio?
No.
Oh, no? Okay.
Nope.
You started DJing out in the clubs?
I started DJing in college just because they told me I could make $1,000.
Oh, really?
So they were like, if you
They
DJ
lied.
the prom, no.
I'm talking about as a straight DJ.
Nah.
They lied.
But they
I'm
told me I
talking
could make
about as a promoter,
No.
as a promoter kind of DJ, right?
Mm-mm.
Well, saying what were they talking about? How can you make $1,000 as a DJ?
They said the prom. They said DJ the college prom.
Oh, the prom.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
That's a little
and they were
different.
like, we'll give you $1,000.
That's a more formal function, correct? Yeah.
So I got a bunch of friends because I had no equipment and no money.
I thought we were talking about a club.
No.
They're not going to pay you $1,000 at a club. Not unless you're the higher. Now, yes, I'm talking about starting out. No. Starting out, they're not going to pay you.
Definitely not.
They'll try and get you for free at first.
Yep.
And then they'll say, "Oh, okay, I'll give you $50 for your pro or something like that."
Mike, it's actually funny you mentioned that because in the Abroad DJ podcast, they talk about free gigs versus paid gigs and stuff like that. So it's definitely there's a lot of gems in there.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, and Maegan can probably talk about this too with their students. When you're first starting out, just don't look at the money aspect of it. Look at the knowledge aspect of it, because how much you learn is invaluable sometimes.
Agree.
Okay? So you don't look at it as I'm doing this for free. I'm doing this to gain knowledge and connections. So important. The networking aspect of it, like I said, invaluable. You will learn from these people. You will find other people to be involved with from these people. So don't look at it as somebody, saying, "Oh, I've got to work for free tonight." Don't look at it like that. That's the wrong attitude to take. I'm going to learn tonight. I'm going to experience something tonight. It could even be a resume entry. Okay, so never ever look at it as like you're doing it for free. And once you reach a certain level of experience and you know what you're doing, then you are justified to say, I need this much money for this gig. And especially if you have a following.
Agreed.
Okay, especially if you're broadcasting on multiple platforms, have a podcast, have a great following, they follow you from place to place, venue to venue, then you say, yeah, I'm worth this much. Don't underestimate your value at any point in time. Okay, but know what your value is realistically. Okay,
that's a big word.
That's a big word, and don't have an inflated head or anything. Be realistic about it as well. But be smart too. Very much.
But
okay.
additionally,
this obviously excites me a little because I went through it old school.
Yep.
The old school back in the 80s and the 70s, 80s and 90s. So I was there in the forefront of what is now a big industry compared to what it used to be. Every time I would show up, except in the clubs, it'd be like, oh God, a DJ.
But again, this is where I go by the entrepreneur and everything you just said. I'm very big on people figuring out a problem for the person they want to work with. So you said that you work in a school or you work with models. My biggest thing I would watch what they were doing and I'll say, hey, every time you step, you stutter to the left a little bit. I'm going to teach you how to fix that. And by presenting a problem, you're helping this person to grow their business. And if you could present something that helps them to grow their business, you now become an asset and that person wants to bring you around. They want you on the team. So a lot of ways I got into bars or clubs or restaurants was I always tell people, don't talk to the owner, don't talk to the manager. You talk to the bouncer first, you get cool with the bartenders. You have to create spokespersons for yourself. You get the spokesperson to talk for you, the person that does the management and booking is going to always take an extra look because you now have team around you.
You know what we call that in the industry?
Talk to me.
Going in through the back door. No, I'm dead serious. It's going in through the back door. Okay, like you just said, don't talk to the manager first. Talk to the bartenders. Talk to the bartenders. I mean, the bouncers.
Yeah.
Okay, and talk to the people that work there, the DJs, the servers. They'll give you the straight dope. Oh, this guy's a horrible person to work for. Or that woman, man, we can't catch a break from her.
Yep.
So talk to them. It might not be a place you want to be.
Agree.
Yeah, based on what their reactions are.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like I said, this stuff is exciting me because I lived it in a different way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead. I keep interrupting. You shouldn't have brought him here tonight.
No, I'm so glad I did.
Because I'm too excited about this. But go ahead.
No, I mean, I got something else that'll excite you a little bit more. And then I really do want to talk about your performance venues and everything like that.
Yeah.
But what I'm wearing right now is the Thrive shirt. This is part of your brand called Seventh Tide Apparel.
Yep.
And you started this when you were doing touring with Token.
Yes, sir.
And I want you to talk a little bit about the tour life, Token, and what ultimately, why the Seventh Tide Apparel and where that brand came from.
So to just go back to it, you have to think about how do you make several streams of income, right? In order to make several streams of income, you know that when you're touring, you're just going to be able to hit a stage. For someone like myself who's constantly jumping from country to country, I didn't have enough time to book clubs after every show. So if we were done at 12, we were back in the Sprinter, I want to say by 1:30, and we're driving to our next city, our country. Wow. So we didn't have time. So I was just trying to figure out how can I make a second stream of income that helps out. If you know anything about actual touring, merchandise is where a lot of artists make their money. You create your brand, and it doesn't need to be something crazy. I think with this line that I created, I think it was the best way for me to learn because, again, I wanted to know how to do it myself. So I created the designs. I printed them myself. I bought all the shirts. I bought the printing machine. I literally made every shirt by hand. And then my biggest thing was what I learned after doing all of that is that I should have just made one design, stuck with that design, and made multiple colors of that design. It's a little bit easier because now if one design runs out and people really want that, I don't have an inventory of it. So I basically put my foot in my mouth, but also, like I said, I fell down, I scraped my elbow, and I won't ever do it again. So I'm very happy about it. So yes, I did create this Seventh Tide because I was basically the idea of like 7 chakras, because especially being on tour, you have to worry about balance. Trying not to drink too much, trying not to figuring out how to sleep, because you're going through so many different time zones. You're constantly just moving. So I was trying to think about what balance is. So seventh being the 7 chakras, and then tide, thinking about the power of water, which we just saw with all the rain we just got. Like, water will come in and it could be a beautiful thing, or it could be something that destroys everything. So 7th tide, just thinking about what it means to survive and how we have to find balance in that. And we could be powerful or we could be meek at the same time. So that was the idea of it. But what I learned and what I'm working on now is going to be my official merchandise. So I'm excited for that to come out.
So you basically have a fashion element to your brand too. Yeah. Actually, LaSalle would have come in handy for that too.
But you understand.
They get some great fashion students at LaSalle.
I'm just learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning as much as possible, but I like doing it myself because now I know what the thread count is and what the type of shirt you should be getting, and then I'm trying to learn how to sew. I literally want to know everything because it makes me happy.
Okay, I'm going to need a shirt to pay for the promo that we're doing right now for you. Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
Sounds great to me.
There you go. It's all about the thrive.
So talk about the gigs now.
Yes.
Yes. So I've literally, I can't think of a gig I haven't done at this point. So,
well, let's start with this. Let's start with this. So, you started with radio. Started in bars. Started in bars.
Yep.
From bars, moved to
radio.
From radio, you got to make a lot of really cool connections.
Yep.
Through the bars and through the radio.
Yep.
Right. From radio, what was the next step?
From radio, I've been on a couple tours. So my first tour was with Sammy Adams. So we did a quick run. I think it was about 2 to 3 weeks. That was cool. It was a nice introduction to what Boston is, what Boston artists present. And then just learning how to deal with people that you don't know. There was no prior relationship. One of his DJ couldn't do it. And he was like, D, I know you'll kill it. And it was a great opportunity, so I'm so blessed for it, and I'm thankful that they allowed me on that tour. My second tour was with Millie's in the early times, which was great again. His DJ couldn't do it. I jumped on tour with him. That was great. And then from Millie's, I just worked with a couple of different artists doing shows whenever they would come into the city, doing summer jams. And then from doing summer jam concerts, it went to working with Token. Working with Token was definitely a blessing. So that first tour we went on, it was great. You know what I mean? Because you got to. It was great because that was my first time on a tour bus for so long, and it was so many different personalities. And I'm such a clean freak, and other people leave their underwear on the floor. So it's like I'm picking up after people, and you have to figure out how to eat, and it was one of those things, and then the bunk beds are so small. I'm 6'3", I'm on the top bunk. So it's it's just one of those learning lessons. And then from there, just doing those one-off shows. So we did Gathering of the Juggalos. And if you don't know who the Juggalos are, that's the Insane Clown Posse. And their crowd is... Their crowd is literally insane. Yeah, yeah. But it was the most eye-opening... Because you start to see people, they clear out a piece of land, they get rid of all the police, and they manage it themselves. They police the land themselves. Nice. So what people are allowed to get away with and what you visually see is the most... It was just amazing. It was amazing.
So it allows for full freedom and creativity.
Full freedom, right? So those were cool. But then I started working. I got a contract to work for Royal Caribbean and Norwegian.
Oh, I love Royal Caribbean.
Yeah, both of those are dope. So I got that contract. And in getting that contract, I've been on almost every class of ship they've had.
Nice.
So I get paid to live on the boat for a week as a celebrity performer. They give me a free room, food, board, all of that. I have to work for 14 to 20 hours out of the 7 days I'm on board. I get off on the island. I get free food. I get to DJ off island, so I'll make extra money off island.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So
I've literally done almost.
Did you prefer
ship
life or bus life?
ship life is way better.
That's no,
like
that's
there's
that's a no-brainer, Michael.
Well, yes,
especially Royal Caribbean ships. I gotta tell you,
Norwegians actually.
Norwegians are nice too. Yeah,
they're
both nice
because Norwegian gives us like a way better room. We got a balcony
But I'm just talking about the ships in general.
The ship itself,
where they go and places like that. Yeah.
So
just a quick Boston note. Violent J from Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah.
Because we mentioned him just a second ago. He dates a Boston girl named Sarah Russi. So what a mismatch that is. I mean, talk about crazy. That's the crazy mismatch right there. But go ahead.
Mike's got the inside on it.
Yes, I do. I definitely do. No. I'm just trying to say, that people in this industry, a lot of them, probably about 80% of them are nuts. Just know that going in a little bit.
You have to be a little bit.
Yeah, you have to be able to
deal with this.
You have to be able to zig and zag between all the nuttiness
at all times.
I'm sorry, but go ahead.
No, at all times.
Go to gigs. I used to love going to the clubs in the cruise ships when they used to be able to stay up till like 4 or 5 in the morning. They don't do that anymore.
No, because people have been doing stupid things.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
like those are cool. I've done a couple festivals where we've done one-offs in Switzerland.
Wow.
It's crazy because I don't remember all the places I've been at this point. But like I love those shows. Like the show where they lost our luggage was the best show I've ever had, and that's the one that's in the clip. No, it's actually not in the clip, but that's like I'm standing on the turntable, like standing on the table, and like it's just one of those. Like, yeah,
that's awesome.
It's what you see, and it's just crazy to go from DJing for tens of thousands of people. I think my biggest audience thus far has been like 20,000 people.
20,000 people
in France.
Wow.
DJing in France. I think
was it a festival or is it?
It was a festival.
Was
yeah.
a festival? Yeah.
So it was a couple of different acts, but just like going from that to then coming back to, again, I respect Boston. But coming back and DJing some of these clubs, it's just like I don't have the same excitement.
It's not the same energy.
And it's a crazy kind of addiction that I don't think a lot of performers talk about. It's an addiction. Like,
we had that energy back in the 80s and 70s in the clubs in Boston. But then it switched to like, and I'm not trying to disrespect club owners, but it's all about the money now.
It is.
I mean, VIPs back in the 70s and 80s were actually VIPs. Now anybody that buys a bottle of Ace of Spades for $1,000 is considered a VIP. And that's okay, to me that's just a stupid person that's overpaying for champagne. But the vibe has changed completely. I wish it would go back to the days where people got excited. Oh, look who that is, and and it's really special people to be in, because that's made the night so much better.
It's just everyone's on their phone.
It created more of an energy.
Agree.
Rather than just people just getting angry and bitter and entitlement and all this other stuff. To me, it's changed for the worse. But I understand it's a business. People want to make money.
Yeah.
But is it really better? I don't think so. I get bored of it very quickly.
I notice it's going back the opposite direction right now anyway, so.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. Was that because of COVID or?
I have no idea.
Because they had to kind of switch it up a little bit? How did that affect you, by the way, COVID? Okay.
COVID. So I quit my job in 2015, so I haven't had 2015? I think my last day of work was 2015. So I didn't have a job until a year and a half ago. That was my first time going back to a job, and that was because of COVID. I was able to sustain myself, but I also did it in a way that I wasn't financially smart, because I always knew that the next check was coming and the next check was going to be bigger and better. So I was like, I'll be good. I'm not worried about this. So I didn't save as well as I should have.
I think most of us were in the same boat, though.
Yeah.
We didn't think it was going to last very long. That's
Nope.
the thing right there.
But I was moving to France, actually.
Oh, wow.
So I had created some situations in France. I was in Belize when they said COVID happened. And they were like, it's either you get stuck in Belize or you come back to the States, which I was really trying
Yeah, you don't want to be stuck down there, do you?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to, but
well,
I wasn't prepared
the
for it.
Great. Yeah,
I wasn't prepared for it, right?
Yeah, okay.
So I came back, and then I was like, whatever. And I was supposed to move to France, and then they were like, we can't go anywhere. So it's like I invested a lot of money that I didn't get back. And then it just turned into no gigs. I had no long-term plan as far as what to do. So I think, again, scratched my elbow again, and now I'm better prepared this time around.
Hey, Mike, I want to take another look at his website here.
Sure.
So let's see what you got on here. So you got your biography here, which we went over tonight.
Yeah.
And what's the media we got here? So this has got
not done well anymore.
not done well. Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry about it.
So you got the podcast here.
Yep, podcast is up there.
Okay. I want to cover this before we have get some pics here.
Yeah, I got a bunch of pictures that I don't like posting
mostly
anymore.
at the iHeart studio. People have come through at Jammin'.
Yeah, different festivals I've done.
Okay, cool.
Different artists that I've worked with.
Oh, that's cool.
I've been a pretty lucky guy.
No,
I take that back. I've never been lucky. I've always
You
made
work
sure I was
for
in
it.
the right positions.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's it. That's the positive attitude.
Yeah,
yeah. I did. I made my own luck.
Yeah,
yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
You also DJ'd the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
I've done it a couple of times.
That's in Vegas, right?
That must be pretty cool.
It's different because I think when they tell you don't meet the people that you look up to, I think you'll start seeing a lot of people's real personalities. Okay. And it was just one of those, like, you think all of us are musicians or we're all about the same thing. You'll see people's how they act when they're backstage or how they treat other people. And I'm very big on how you treat others. So I don't like people that talk down to the janitor or once you do those kind of things, I kind of write you off. So yeah, you just start seeing people for who they truly are. So I think the people that work behind scenes, they are legends. Shout out to Shailene. That's my big sis. She's a beast. To be able to put all that together. But again, a lot of the artists, those kind of people, you'll be surprised. Yeah.
What has been your the most fun you've had? So you DJ'd for 20,000 people at festivals, in arenas, and then at clubs. Where has your enjoyment from? Is each gig its own enjoyment? Is each place a different energy? Talk about it.
Actually, I have the corniest answer for you. I think the most fun gigs I do are when I'm with y'all. Like when I'm with my guys and we're all together just laughing throughout the night. That's when I actually have my most fun because I don't feel like I feel like I'm surrounded by love and I feel safe. When I'm performing by myself, I think I'm thinking as a business owner, I'm thinking about strategy. I can't just be the DJ anymore and just live in the moment. And that's what I think has been the only thing that I've been. I don't want to make it sound bad, but that's the one thing I feel like I'm missing nowadays. I just feel like this is too much of a business now, and I love it.
It's still fun, but it's not quite as fun as it used to be.
Because I'm thinking about too many things. I'm like, if I play this song right now, what is this going to do for the bar? Are people going to go to the bar and spend money, or are people going to move away from the bar?
Unfortunately, that's the problem with becoming an entrepreneur.
Yes.
There's more stuff on your plate.
And that's what I'm thinking about.
You don't have as much time to enjoy it like you used to when you first starting out.
If I play this song, is it going to cause people to fight in mosh pit? Is that good for the establishment? What are they going to think about it? My brain is constantly everywhere else on top of trying to maintain
You're playing chess
DJ.
in your brain.
Yes.
You're playing three-dimensional chess in your brain.
But when you have your friends there, they're like,
Take some of the burden off.
This is going crazy now. You should probably switch it up. Or they're my eyes and ears. I don't have to look for drunk people. I don't have to look for people trying to touch my equipment.
Strength in numbers.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things where it's I prefer the gigs where I'm with my family.
Maegan, I know you've been quiet and it's not quite your thing, but
sorry.
No, you're good.
I mean, do you teach your students similar things like that, or some similar philosophies?
I mean, going back to your point on just free events and networking. So I teach a lot of students who are in creative. So I teach, future photographers, videographers, broadcasters, and things like that. I feel like this next generation, and I know I'm not old, and I consider myself an older soul, but a lot of these students want to be here first rather than here. They'd rather be at their peak right out of college.
Yep.
And I'm a firm believer. I don't even want to peak because that means I'm not growing. If I hit my peak, that means I'm going to have to come down at some point, and I don't want to come down. I'm the type of person
you just want to keep climbing.
You just want to keep climbing, keep growing, and I think when you are an educator,
sounds like that's what he's doing too at this point.
Yeah, and
you're just finding new, different challenges to meet in life.
And I feel like
there you go.
When you're an educator, right? You're an educator and you're entrepreneurs. We have a lot of things alike. You just want to keep growing and learning. And I think Mike can say I do probably a jack of all trades as well. And so, trying to teach your students the balance that sometimes what you deem as a free, event, and they think, oh my God, I'm going somewhere for free. The entrepreneurial mindset is those networks, those connections will further your career
Yep.
and make you probably the double the worth later on.
Yep.
And that's something I've had to learn, and
Well,
that's something that's had to teach
We're
them.
going
and
to have
so,
to end on that note because
you know.
we've run out of time. Thank you very much for coming down here and sharing your
course.
experiences. I enjoyed that a lot.
Likewise.
Because I lived a different type of version of that. So it's kind of cool. And I want to talk to you afterwards, too, as well.
Let's go.
But again, I wish you very, very much success with your career. Maybe we can make you a Boston Red Sox fan someday.
Never.
I know, that's okay.
I don't.
Mike, you're going to have to work on that. But
It's
no, that's
not
okay.
happening.
That's okay. I mean, it's okay. I respect being loyal to your team. We hope you come back sometime soon. And give them your address for the website again and your social media.
www.djdcaso.com. And it's DJ DCaso on all social media platforms. DJ DCaso.
There you go. All right. We'll be back next week. More fashion stuff next week. Michael, thank you for coming in tonight. You're going to see more of Michael and Maegan and less of me, thank God, for everybody out there, not just me. But stay tuned again next week, same time, same place. Good night, everyone, and have a great week.
Nos vemos.